my favorite difference between bars here and bars in the States, 4 letters. It could be way worse. It could be much better. Here in Pattaya, five rules / truths that nobody tells you about nightlife in Pattaya. Let's go. First thing might seem pretty obvious to most, but you'd be surprised how many times I see this happening every time I go to the bar almost. Just because you spend money does not mean the rules don't apply to you. I don't think I need to explain that one anymore. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. Number 5 was definitely the biggest surprise and difference for me coming from the States and going to clubs to coming to Thailand and going to clubs. So make sure you stick it out through the whole video so you can find out what it is. Okay, so number 2, if you're headed to a bar where you're looking for some company, don't assume that everybody in that bar is there to provide you company. If this doesn't make any sense to you, then it's probably not something you're interested in anyway. But if you're coming to Pattaya, there's a good chance this is a big reason why you're coming. So just be respectful and just double check and make sure that that girl is there to work.
Last night I was screaming out loud, California sun was making my eyes dry. Next year in the winter, let's give it a try.
So number 3 is another one really, that is quite a bit different than something that you would experience in the States. So say you go to a nightclub here and you buy a bottle. In the United States, you buy a bottle, everything that comes with that bottle is free essentially, whether it's rounded up in the prices or not. All your ice, mixers, all that stuff is included in the price in your bottle. Here in Pattaya, 99% of clubs you walk into, you buy a bottle, you're gonna have to pay for the mixers and stuff like that. Sometimes they do run a special where you get, you know, so many mixers included, but if you look at it and you buy enough bottles, which I allegedly have, they've just marked up the bottle itself to account for the mixers themselves. So just take into account, you got bottle price plus mixers. I've only been charged for ice once or twice. Taking on a secondary career in rap too. Yeah, only been charged for ice once or twice, but it does happen. It depends on the club. Number 4 is gonna be another thing that's gonna be much different than in the West. So when you walk into these clubs, bars, whatever, your service is gonna be much different. It could be way worse. It could be much better. Generally, it's much better. But I have been to some clubs and stuff here where you'll essentially get no service, where you do have to kind of just grab somebody, be assertive. It's not really like you're gonna be getting checked on. And then I've also been to clubs here where you've got somebody pretty much just standing behind you, waiting for you if you need something. So it really depends. The service is gonna be much different. Mostly I only hear about people talk about how much better the service is here, which in general, 99% of the time, service in Thailand is impeccable. It's much better than most places in the States. But when you get bad service, it will be the worst service you've ever gotten in your life. If you would like to see more content from Thailand, I do upload daily videos, so feel free to cruise right down here, click that little subscribe button, stay updated from nightlife to nature to boats to islands to diving. I do a little bit of everything, so feel free to subscribe, keep up, and yeah, thank you. As always, these are just my personal experiences and my observations as an American. I only have a real perspective on the differences between the States and here. If you found some other stuff that you see as a big difference between where you're from and nightlife here in Thailand, feel free to head down to the comments. Let us know, let me know a cool story, a funny story, whatever. Just let me know like the biggest difference that you've seen partying here as to partying where you're from. Okay, so last and certainly not least, my favorite difference between bars here and bars in the States, 4 letters, BYOB. Almost every club here will let you bring in your own drinks, bring in your own bottle. I honestly have never tried to bring in beer. I wouldn't assume that that would be any different, but You can bring in your own bottle. Most clubs will just charge you. Granted, this is most clubs, not all of them. Don't just stomp in and then be upset if they say no. But most clubs will let you bring in your own bottle, and you can just pay for mixers. Or if you're not gonna buy any mixers, a lot of the times they'll just ask you to pay a bottle fee, which is essentially you give them 200-300 baht, and you can drink on your own bottle, which is pretty sick. A lot of the time, this will include restaurants too. So say you wanna go out and spend a little bit on dinner, but you don't wanna spend a lot on cocktails. I've never done this personally, but I have been out eating and I'll see people bring in their own beers. Same thing, you just pay for your ice or anything else that you need. And most of the time, from what I've noticed at restaurants, and I have had some buddies do it, if you're buying food and stuff, they don't really mind. Keep in mind, this isn't everywhere. This is a generalization, but if you're from the States, you know that this is never a thing. Like, you can't, if you're from some podunk town, you know what I mean, in like Nebraska or something, no offense to Nebraska. I have plenty of friends in the Midwest. I spend a lot of time there. I love Nebraska. But yeah, maybe if you're out a little more of a dive spot, you might be able to find a place that'll let you do it. But most clubs, bars, restaurants here, BYOB, baby. If you have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for tuning in to Tempus TV. If you'd like to support the channel, all those links will be down in the description. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.